Welcome back. We're going to do the other heroes. Started with Alexander. Took my old paint, added just a drop of water, mixed it up, got it a little thinner. And it come out just a little darker than I want it, which is fine. He is a drifter. Oops, right there. So, he's probably outside in the sun. That's fine. So then, to get this color, what I did for these two ladies, okay, there we go. I wanted it a little lighter and added more white, and then it started getting too white. So, don't mean anything bad about it, but I put a couple drops, 2 or 3 of yellow in there and stirred it up, and got a nice look, nice color. But it is having trouble coating. She has a seam right down her arm, and hers did pretty well. So that is where we are now. That is Lee May Chin and Shelley Hargrove. And then we have Grant Jackson we will be working on today. We are going to do, of course, a little different. Damp paper towel, a few drops of brown right onto it. There we go. And then some white, but not much. Okay. Take the bigger brush just to be able to mix it a little easier. I'm gonna mix it right here on the paper towel because I don't need a lot, and this will help keep it damp so it can not dry out as quick. There we go. And the color is not bad. I like it. So we have Grant Jackson, who looks a little bit like the actor from Scrubs, Faison. Yeah. So, and I don't know if you can tell, put it in hot water. He is still leaning backwards, but here on the front, it looks like it has a tiny rip on his foot, and on the back of this one, it looks like it has a tiny rip. And so I'm afraid to push him too much, hoping the paint, once I get the paint on, it'll help strengthen it. But otherwise, he may just be leaning back a little bit with a casual lean while he's posing with his gun. So we got the paint mixed up, looks pretty good. So gonna brush it on. I want it thin enough I can spread it out evenly, but thick enough it will cover. If I have to, I'll do another coat, but usually that ends up leaving a bit of a mess, leaving it caked in places. But if we have to, that's what we'll do. But especially on the eyes, nose, mouth, these tiny miniatures, as small as they are, have decent detail on the face for the size they are, but you get the paint a little clumped up and it will ruin it. And once again, when you're trying to do the neck and throat, the chest sticking out in around the shirt, don't worry about getting the paint on the clothes, because that will be much easier to cover up than painting it first, then trying to do the skin, making a mess, and then having to come back and repaint again. So this will be fine. Gonna get the back of his neck, around his neck. And hopefully the camera will show before I finish up. You can see a little bit of darkness difference. Not a ton, but we'll fix that later. He will be done with a black wash to give highlights and shadows, and I think that is going to do a great job of darkening up his overall complexion without making him look unrealistic. And then this guy, we can just do a very, very light wash to make him look a little weathered, and you can see the difference in their skin tones. So that's looking good. All right, I'm gonna finish up his hands and arms, and we'll come back later and look at what we're doing. Alexander has a good picture here. I don't know if it's picking up on the camera, but it is a dark brown suede jacket, white shirt with a gray undershirt. Don't know if I'll be able to pull off that, so I may just go with a light gray on his figure. But that gives some sort of context. That'll be something good to go by. And here you can see maybe with the shadowing, but the white shirt has like gray in it, and there's gray there, so maybe just a gray. And then a dark brown suede look. Excuse me, I've been a little under the weather lately. Then we have Grant here, and there is another picture of him here. Okay, he's in a cave in some shadows, and he has a dark green, white, brown strap, brown, like ammo pouch, yellowish tan gloves, and then his pants are this yellowish green olive look. So 2 more characters with a lot of green and brown. We'll see if we can't make them stand out a little bit. So right here, did the same thing. A drop of black, a few drops of white, got the gray I wanted. Let's see if it will focus. I did the undershirt in gray up there near his neck. It looks pretty good. Then this shirt had little ridges or lines in it, and it would have been cool if I could have got those gray underneath and then done the white, but the white would, I have to like glob it on and then smear it out and smooth it out and do 2 coats. So what I think I'm going to do is leave this here, come back later, put a drop of water on it or 2, get it really thin and make it a gray, light gray wash instead of a black wash, and wash the white shirt so it's not brilliant white. I mean, he's a drifter, so maybe that white shirt wouldn't be quite so white, but there is a little bit of difference, and up close you can see it's pretty cool. Gray undershirt, white shirt. All right, let's do some more painting. Since my brown doesn't go on real well, I took the old brown that I used with the temples, the darker that I used with some of the temples, and added a couple drops of water, mixed it up. I'm going to use this as an undercoat. I've got it started on his jacket. Then I will come over top with brown straight out of the bottle cap, and that way maybe I'll get a nice coating and it'll give it some depth, maybe get that nice suede look, and then we can even do a black wash over it at the end. That's what it's looking like so far, and we'll go back later. I'm going to give him some dark brown suede shoes along with his jacket by doing the brown over top, and then it'll be some contrast with the case he's carrying. The trunk is a dark brown in the photo, but I don't want it to be, I want his jacket to be the main focal point that stands out, the cool part, where that's more of an accessory, so I'll try to spruce it up some. The pants, I was thinking about doing dark blue jeans. I was like, that'll be cool. I haven't got to do blue much. But they have these pockets on them like cargo pants, like a travel adventure pants. I don't want to do brown. I don't know if I really want to do green. And my wife was saying, just do them in black. Do like black cargo. So I might do a dark gray. We'll see. But I'm going to get started on this one for now. This one is really cool. Okay, real cool figure. We have lots of references, but they contradict. So here, she's a singer, entertainer. Have a red with gold flake and insole, and so red and gold. You know, like the Lucky Chinese feel. Anyway, here it's black with red. So, okay. So I get to looking, and this is one of the few figures they actually show you, and that is the same pose as the figure. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do with her. If you see here, this almost looks transparent, and you can see her pants underneath. Alright, so what I've done is red straight out of the cap, and I've painted the pants and went across. So then we'll come back with a black wash, a dark black wash, and go over that section to kind of give the illusion of that part being transparent. And if we have to, we'll even paint it a little blacker if it doesn't work right, but we'll see. And then the rest of it we'll do in black, and then come back with some red touch-ups and highlights. And I'm just trying to get the bottom of the pants near her feet that are showing out of the slippers, and on the back and bottom it's not as important, because if I need to, I just take it down farther, cover up some of the foot, and then come up with the slipper. If we need, we don't even need to have any of our feet showing, if it's easier to paint and make it look somewhat consistent, especially here. Don't know if I've got it on camera where you can see what I'm doing, so here, there we go. Trying to get okay, so we will leave that for a while and come back. So real quick, here's a city card. Has the same picture, but it has a little more to it, and it looks like between the torches you can see a belt, and then here gray pants. And if that's the case, I will do a gray, but I'm going to do a darker gray because they are khaki. But one thing I found, which it's too late now, the episode's done, but here's a picture of Jake. He has on gray pants, and I gave him blue jeans, but we're keeping it because I like the way they turned out. They look cool. Here's a couple of city cards. So we have some good references for him. Lots of green and tan. These are a yellowish tan, the gloves. So good references there. White t-shirt underneath. And then for Shelley Hargrove, we have these city. We have an event and a city card. But with her, she has this great picture It's not showing up great on camera, but you have a light yellowish green, almost like an olive here, slightly darker here. Then you have like black leather boots, a black leather jacket, and there's like a little yellow line there and a reddish line down the boots. But we may do that, all that in yellow, like the yellowish with the hat. Just tie it all in. But we got a good reference for her. So I have this strange looking green in the cup. About 3 drops of green, which my green is like a forest green. It's pretty deep. 1 drop of yellow, 1 drop of white. Mix it up. And you can see it goes on a slightly strange color. It's not bad. Let's see if I can get it. It's not bad. And I think that when I do a wash over it, it's going to look pretty good. So I'm going to paint his jacket that color. Let's see if you can see right there. There's a grenade, and over here is a canteen that is green, straight out of the bottle cap. So it's a darker forest looking green. Then we have brown on the strap there. The like the belt, the ammunition clip or the pouch. Then the butt of the gun and the boots. I didn't know what color to do the boots, and I was like, well, at this point, what other color would it be? It's going to be a dark brown leather. So it looks good. And then the gun here, in the photo, it is almost dark brown. I'm going to do it just a little lighter. And these are like leather wrappings so that the gun barrel is not so shiny when you're out in the jungle. Yeah. And I'll do it a lighter brown, almost a tan, and I'll probably do the other strap on this shoulder that goes around to this pouch. I'll do it that lighter brown. So at least we'll get some contrasts. Then a light green and a light green here. So I did mostly yellow, about 5 parts yellow, 3 parts maybe of my forest green, and it come out almost just standard green. And I want to lighten that up a little bit. So let's try a dash of white just to get a little lighter. There we go. Not much, not much. Just to tone that down a little bit. And don't be afraid to experiment with some colors. All right. Let's see here. We want it to be some green with a little yellow tint. And oh, that's better. I'm liking that better. Let me move this over, see if I can get it to focus in good. So that's not too bad. There we go. That is much closer to what we want. Now, do I do a drop of yellow or another drop of white? Let's try another drop of white. This part will run a little long just because I want to show you my thought process and the actual process that you could try as well. Because this paint has not dried overnight. It's easy to remove even off of the figures if I need to. A really damp brush and a damp paper towel. Okay. might not be able to see on camera, but you can see just a little bit, and there you go. There's 3 shades. I like it. So that's what we're going to go with. And I may end up using that color with a drop of maybe green on my other character, Shelly. Okay, I'm going to get to painting this. His pants and his hat. A couple drops of yellow. I've already mixed in 1 drop of brown. Let's try another drop. There we go. Yeah, that's looking good. There we are. It's a deeper yellow color without adding black and it losing the color that we want. We can kind of keep it that yellow so it'll really stand out. So you can see it's really going to stand out on the figure. And once we get the wash over, it's going to look good. And I gave him some eyes. They're a little big, but I was afraid if I mess with it anymore, it might mess them up. So we'll leave it like that. And we can just pretend he's wide-eyed or they're sunglasses. But otherwise, it looks pretty good. Got a little bit of gray to do the end of the gun barrel. And this figure will be able to do a wash in black on the whole thing. I do believe it'll do fine. Alright, gonna paint the gloves. So we have red straight out of the cap, as well as black on the outfit and the hair. And we will do a heavy wash over this part to try and make it look translucent. Okay, and then we'll do a dark brown over her hair in just spots to give it a little sheen, try and make it look like the picture. And then we'll go back and do some red on the fastenings of her outfit and maybe a few stripes here and there just to give it a little more color. Now we're going to move on to him. Brown hair, brown mustache, and then do brown over top of his coat and shoes to try and make them look suede. And we'll do just straight out of the bottle. And it is a glossy. That's why it's not going on as thick. It's a little shiny, but ends up giving it a good look. Got his mustache, looks okay. Hair looks okay. His jacket, especially in person, looks really cool. I just did a thin dark brown coat over the light gray or light brown and tried to go in the direction of shoulder left and right in each back panel up and down. I'm going to keep smoothing it out and try to get the edges, but it does have a two-tone brown suede look. I may not even have to do a black wash on that. That's looking pretty cool. His mustache is not exactly even, but I'm not worried about that. And his hair looks a little funny. Right up here. So it might work on that a little bit, but looking good. Looking really good. Here we have some green with a touch of yellow and black. And then here we added some more yellow. And still couldn't get the color quite the way we want it. I'll show you that. So here I did about equal parts green, brown, and then some white. And it looks weird here, but if I can get it to zoom in on the figure, there we go. So we have the top of this thigh, the green with one touch of yellow and black, and then here adding more yellow, which is still pretty cool. And then here is that new color, and you can see it is a olive. And I think once we get that on, or I don't know if you call it olive, but anyway, once we get that on, and then do a black wash over it, a heavy black wash. I think it's gonna look good. We'll come back and see how it looks. Mixed up some dark gray. Got her gun there. Got the barrel of his rifle. And in his pants. And them in a dark gray. And we will see how that looks once we do a wash on it. We're gonna let all that dry because we have to try this and then do some washes and see how they look. Mixed up some dark gray. Got her gun there. Got the barrel of his rifle. And in his pants. And them in a dark gray. And we will see how that looks once we do a wash on it. We're gonna let all that dry because we have to try this and then do some washes and see how they look. Gonna have to touch up the red band around her arm, and the flowers I tried to do, I'll just cover them black. I'm probably not gonna do a stripe down the middle. I'll just leave those fasteners. But the wash that I did, it kind of worked, but not exactly, not the way I want it. So I think I'm going to just go ahead and paint that black, then do the edges and trim in red like that, and around the arm where the hair doesn't cover. And I'm going to touch up her arm a little bit and touch up the dress, and we'll call her done. Her black hair was really blending in with her outfit, so I did a light brush, like a dry brush, of some dark brown just to hit a few highlights here and there. And in her picture, man, that camera really shows the looks like there's some spots that are purple, but it's not. I don't know what that is. Anyway, her picture really shows some brown highlights, and so I tried to incorporate that into her model. And in this one I went ahead and painted brown, and I'm going to do black wash on it just to give it the highlights. So I think we are ready for the washes. Okay, so I went ahead and painted that black, and then did a light black wash over her red pants, and did a thick black wash over her hair and the black part of her outfit, and it looks really cool. I did a black wash over his pants and a light gray wash over his white shirt, and I did not do a wash over his jacket because I liked it the way it was. I really liked the way it turned out. And then the gun and his hair I did a wash over, and you can see some of the highlights in his hair. So, and that jacket has some nice, sometimes when the light hits it, the corners, it almost looks like it's unpainted, but it is not, I promise. It's just got a nice light reflection. Gave him some green eyes to go with his mustache. I gave her some black eyes, gave him some black eyes, did a dark wash on everything on him, and it looks awesome. Looks really good. I did have to dab it off in a few spots, but really pleased with that. And her, I did a very light wash on her face, and then did a dark wash everywhere, and then lightly brushed off some on the hat and pants, but you can see it does have some detail on it. Yeah, and then of course the gun and her hair and her jacket and her boots have heavy wash on it. And I did not go with the red on the boots. I decided to make that a yellowish gold to match the jacket, and then the gloves had like almost like Velcro that had like a yellow band, but I couldn't do a band, so I just did a little stripe there. And her hair is not as dark as I would have liked. Maybe I should have mixed that brown with some black, but not bad. And then I gave her brown eyes. So these are ready for a coat, and after they dry overnight, I will get some finished product shots for you.